Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into a book that has genuinely changed lives, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. It's this incredible story all about chasing your dreams, right? So we're going to break down its biggest lessons on how you can find the treasure that's just waiting for you.
I mean, this quote right here, it kind of hits home, doesn't it? At its heart, that's what this book is all about. We all have these big dreams, but the world has a way of telling us, nope, not possible. The Alchemist basically looks that idea right in the eye and asks, okay, but what really stops us from going after what we truly want?
And Coelho gives us a roadmap. He says there are 4 huge roadblocks that get in our way. First, everyone telling you it's impossible. Second, that nagging fear of hurting the people you love. Third, the big one, the fear of complete and utter failure. And then, the real curveball, the fear of actually succeeding, of realizing the dream. The story of our hero, Santiago, is basically a masterclass in how to smash through every single one of these walls.
Okay, so let's meet our hero. Our story kicks off with Santiago, a shepherd who's got a pretty good life, you know? He's comfortable, but there's this dream he keeps having, over and over again, about a hidden treasure waiting for him at the Egyptian pyramids. And that dream? It's the little spark that's about to set his whole world on fire. He runs into this mysterious old king who gives his dream a really cool name. A personal legend. And let this sink in. A personal legend isn't just a goal. No, it's what you have always wanted to accomplish. It's your true mission on Earth. The king explains that we all know our purpose when we're young, but as we get older, life, this mysterious force, starts whispering in our ear that it's just impossible. And then the king hits him with this massive question, a question that gets right to the very core of why so many of us just give up on our dreams. He asks him, what is the world's greatest lie? And boom, there it is. The lie is that at some point we lose control, that our lives just start happening to us, that it's all up to fate. Think about that. The king is saying this is the excuse we make, right? It's the story we tell ourselves so we don't have to feel bad about giving up. It's the moment we hand over the keys to our own life.
Before the king leaves, he shares one last little story to really drive the point home. Imagine a boy wants to know the secret of happiness, so he goes to see the wisest man in the world. The wise man doesn't just give him the answer. Instead, he hands him a spoon with 2 drops of oil in it and says, go on, walk around my magnificent palace, but do not spill a single drop.
And this is the punchline. The secret of happiness is to see all the amazing things in the world, but never, ever forget the oil on the spoon. It's such a brilliant metaphor, right? It's not about choosing between your big dream, seeing the marvels, and your everyday responsibilities, the oil. It's about finding a way to do both. You have to chase your legend, but you also have to pay attention to the here and now.
So Santiago is fired up. He takes this massive leap of faith, sells his entire flock of sheep, and travels to Africa to start his quest. And on day 1, literally, his first day there, it all goes wrong. He trusts the wrong person and gets robbed of every last penny.
So now he's broke, defeated, he could just give up. This is that third obstacle we talked about, the fear of defeat. But instead, he gets a job with a crystal merchant. And it's here that he learns a vital concept, maktub. It's an Arabic word that means it is written, but it's not about being powerless. It's the idea that, yeah, our destiny is written, but our choices are part of what's being written. It helps him see this disaster not as the end, but as just an unexpected detour on the map.
And this is where that other piece of advice from the king really starts to click. He starts to see the world in a totally new way, noticing omens, little signs that are guiding him. He starts to believe in what he calls the soul of the world, this idea that there's a positive force out there that is literally rooting for you, as long as you're committed to your dream. His huge setback actually becomes his greatest lesson. All right. Fast forward a year. Santiago is back on his feet and back on his quest. He crosses the Sahara Desert. He finds love at an oasis. And he even teams up with a real-deal alchemist. Things are looking up, until they're not. They ride straight into a war zone and get captured. And this is it, his ultimate test. To save them, the alchemist makes the craziest bet you've ever heard. He tells the tribe's chief that Santiago here, well, he's a powerful sorcerer who can turn himself into the wind. And he promises he'll prove it in 3 days. The catch? If he can't, they'll both be killed. I mean, talk about pressure. His life now depends on doing the impossible.
So what does he do? He doesn't try to command the elements. Instead, he starts a conversation.
First, he speaks to the desert, and he talks about something universal, love. He frames his task not as a display of power, but as a journey back to the woman he loves, a language that even the ancient desert can understand.
The desert can't do it alone, so it tells him to talk to the wind. So he does. He makes his powerful argument that love isn't just an emotion, it's a creative force. He claims that when you are loved, anything is possible, even turning yourself into the wind.
The wind, impressed, says it needs help from the sun. So Santiago's final appeal is to this ultimate source of life. He argues that love is the very engine of creation. It's the force that actively transforms and improves the entire universe, that soul of the world. And finally, in a moment of pure silence, he connects directly with the hand that wrote all. He realizes that his own soul is a part of the soul of God, that everything is one. And in that moment of unity, a furious sandstorm erupts, and when it all settles, Santiago reappears on the other side of the camp. He did it. He actually became the wind.
Well, after that miracle, the ultimate test is passed. The alchemist lets him continue the final leg of the journey alone. And at long last, Santiago arrives. He is standing right there, in front of the pyramids of Egypt, ready to unearth the treasure he has sacrificed everything for.
An omen shows him exactly where to dig. So he digs, and he digs all night long. And what does he find? Absolutely nothing. Zip. Nada. And just to make matters worse, as he's about to give up, he gets ambushed by thieves who beat him senseless and steal his last bit of gold. Defeated, Santiago tells them about his dream of treasure. The leader of the thieves just scoffs. But before leaving, he mockingly shares his own recurring dream about a treasure buried under a sycamore tree in a ruined church in Spain.
Hold on, a ruined church in Spain? That's the exact spot where Santiago's journey began. And in that moment, the final lesson clicks into place. The treasure was never in Egypt. It was back home all along. The entire journey wasn't about reaching the destination. It was about gaining the wisdom he needed to finally see what was right in front of him the whole time.
So Santiago returns home, digs under the tree, and finds the chest of gold. But by now, he knows the physical gold is just a symbol. The real treasure was the journey itself, the wisdom, the love, the courage he gained. And as the book says, every single one of us plays a central role in the history of the world. Our own journey is what prepares us to play that part. So the ultimate takeaway from The Alchemist isn't really an answer, is it? It's a question. It's a question it asks of all of us. The story forces you to look inward and ask yourself, what is the treasure you are seeking? What is your own personal legend, and what journey must you undertake to finally find it?